It's Friday, February the 7th, 2025, and it's time for a brand new episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to tell you about the new AMA Chartered Club Toolkit.
We spotlight one of our partners, UASidekick.
And we're going to tell you how you could get started in control line, all that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I am Lee Ray.
Lee, how the heck are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about you?
Hey, you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. I had a nice long weekend and I'm ready to get back at it this week here on the show. And we've got a whole lot of great stuff to talk to you guys about. And we want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by our wonderful friends over at XSRC HSDJETSUSA. And we're going to tell you about them a little bit later on in the show. But you know what, Lee? One of my favorite things that we're doing right now, because this is our 10th anniversary year for the show. We have been on AMA, doing AMA Air for 10 years, and we've been showing some fun and interesting clips from the past 10 years here, and we're going to get to take a look at a brand new one today. So let's take a look at that clip, and we'll talk about it out on the other side.
Hi everybody. Joining me this afternoon is none other than AMA President, Mr. Bob Brown. Mr. President, welcome to AMA Air.
Thank you, Chris.
What's on your wish list? What did you come here to Expo and say, man, I really hope I get to see X while I'm there?
Let's just say I'm looking at two different things. I have quite a focus on multi-rotor racing.
Okay.
And there were several multi-rotor racers here.
Uh-huh.
Those were intriguing.
So is this FPV racing that you're talking about?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I also look at, there were some very, very nice gliders here. And, you know, as I look at multi-rotor racing and gliders, it's like two ends of the spectrum.
Well, I was just thinking that, something, okay, here's a guy that could, obviously you could fly anything that you want to fly in the hobby. And we've got you on the one end, this is the latest, greatest technology. We're FPV, it's multi-rotors, it's racing, it's fast-paced. And we're at gliders. Minimal power. We've been doing this for years and years and years and years. It's slow pace, it's relaxed. What draws you to the two ends?
It's called F-U-N.
I have to say I was a little worried there for just a minute about where that was going to go. I couldn't agree more. I think that everything that I have seen here at the show has had fun written all over it.
The secret to comedy is
Timing.
That was excellent.
Oh man, Bob Brown, former AMA president. You gotta love Bob, and that was his motto. Like everything had to be fun. He was like, that was the secret of everything, is having fun. I got to tell you, the experience of being at AMA Expo. This was in 2016. This is out in Ontario, California, and we set up a whole stage right in the middle of the show floor, and decided we're gonna set this up and we're gonna interview people on the show floor live for AMA Air. And we had an absolute blast doing that. It was a lot of work, I have to say, but we had an absolute blast. Obviously, you saw there. Bob Brown stopped in to talk to us a little bit. We talked to Skip Stewart, who is an aerobatics pilot. We talked to one of my favorite interviews that we had was Indy 500 champion Juan Pablo Montoya. Stopped in and talked to us a little bit as well, among so many others. It was an absolute blast. We had such a great time doing that, and I think that was a prime example there of some of the fun that we tried to have here on the show throughout the years.
I bet there are a lot of people who have seen that episode or been watching these episodes and been to Expo have some great stories to share with us. So hopefully you guys can leave those in the comments. Tell us some of your favorite Expo stories, because I remember the first time I went, I think that was 2019, had a blast.
Yeah. Expo was so much fun. It was always awesome to go out and see some of the folks that we only really got to see maybe once a year, because maybe they were based out in the West Coast.
Well, the country's kind of this big,
it's kind of this
it's
big.
Kind of big.
But Expo was so much fun. So I'm glad we got to see that. So I hope you guys take some time to share your Expo stories if you got to come, down in the comments below. And obviously go back and watch some of those interviews that we did at AMA Expo 2016. They are available on our YouTube channel, and we encourage you to go check them out, because there was some really great info out there. Al Bowers was another really great interview that we had. Al Bowers, if you don't know who he is, he was a former chief scientist at NASA, and was building these wing aircraft to fly on Mars. And it was a really cool interview, and being the space nerd that I am, getting to talk and meet a chief scientist at NASA. I was in my element right there, sir. Well, we want to talk to you guys quickly a little bit about something new that's coming down the pike for you all. It's called our AMA Chartered Club Toolkit, and we have been putting this project together for some time now, and it is officially launched. If you go to modelaircraft.org/AMA-club-toolkit, and we'll have a link down in the description for you guys. This toolkit is really designed to give our clubs all of the resources and tools that they need to be successful. Some of the things that are included in here, resources and guidance on grants, flying site insurance and assistant programs, growing club membership, community involvement, hosting different types of events, safety, education, advocacy, and so much more. There's so much there to digest and to get your hands on to make your club successful.
I've got one, and social media.
And social media, that's absolutely right.
Which is this little thing that I do, try to keep up with everybody online. But I will say, this happened in conversation. I was telling a club, working with them on their Facebook page, I noticed that they had an error, or one of their flyers was not up. And I just happened to talk with one of the club members, and we had this great conversation. I said, you know what, I hope you get the toolkit soon when it's available. And I mentioned it to him, and I said, because there's a section about this that I talk about. He was like all excited. I think a lot of people aren't aware of how much effort we're willing to provide.
Yeah.
Our clubs, because we want you to succeed. So please get in touch with us and let us know what we can do to help you.
Yeah, and this is going to be an ongoing process. You can go there today, and there are going to be things added over the course of time. So what you see today isn't the finished product; it's going to be a living project. For example, one of the things we're actively working on as we speak, it's not quite ready, but it's going to be launching here soon, is a flyer template for your club to use if you want to have a flyer for your event. And maybe you don't feel like you have the design skills, or you know anybody that has the design skills to put together a really nice, effective flyer for your event. We're going to have a template that you guys can use, and it's going to have a space for all the information that you need to provide to someone who wants to come to your event. So over time, we're going to be adding more and more to this toolkit. We're just scratching the surface a little bit here about what you can find as part of this Charter Club Toolkit. We're going to tell you a little bit more about it on a future episode of AMA Air. We're going to interview one of the people who has been instrumental in putting this together and getting this to quote, getting this to market, I guess, is the phrase that the people use to say that kind of thing. But we're going to be talking with some of those folks here in the coming episodes. So be sure to stick around. But in the meantime, go check out the AMA Chartered Club Toolkit and see what things are there now that might be beneficial to your club. We want to also tell you guys about one of our amazing partners, UASidekick. They have been a partner with us for a number of years now. UASidekick is one of these services that is used by drone pilots and model aviators that offers real-time airspace awareness, instant LANC approvals, and flight planning to ensure safe, compliant operations in the airspace. And we've been working with them for a number of years, and we are renewing that partnership. And we wanted to tell you guys a little bit about them, and we've got some video here to show you. So take it away. I guess Tyler, I think, is our interim director, is going to start us off.
AMA and UASidekick recently renewed a memorandum of understanding that goes back a few years. And AMA is lucky to have such a great partner in UASidekick, and we look forward to working with them in the future. Not only does UASidekick provide an excellent LANC platform that gets you airspace authorization and when you're in controlled airspace, their platform also shows the events and the flying sites that AMA has around the country. In addition to that, they're great advocates for model aviation. I first met UASidekick back in 2018 when AMA hosted a community-based organization roundtable with Consumer Technology Association. And one of the strongest advocates for model aviation at that event was UASidekick, and they were adamant that the FAA not impose additional restrictions on the modeling community. And when I saw the support that UASidekick had for model aviation and for AMA, I knew that we had to build upon that partnership. So it's an honor I get to sign this memorandum of understanding, and I look forward to working with them long into the future. Thank you.
Well, joining us today is the Chief Operating Officer of UASidekick, Jason Cansler. Jason, thank you so much for joining us today on AMA Air.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Good to see you guys again.
Absolutely. So, Jason, I know it's been a while since we've talked, and I wanted to give folks a little bit of a reminder of what UASidekick is. We've got a lot of people who are watching that are brand new viewers. So why don't you give folks a little overview of what UASidekick is?
Yeah, certainly. UASidekick is a tool, really, for hobbyists and commercial operators alike to be able to fly in airspace. We started the program, or started the company back in the day when we had to file NOTAMs to be able to fly commercially, so it was a very difficult process to do. And so most of the time we would be out in the field and need to be able to file those or look at airspace. And so we developed the mobile app initially, and then created those interactions with the federal government to be able to file these NOTAMs, and then LANC and the rule sets came about, and we started evolving into trying to cut some of the red tape, or at least the time it takes to get through some of that red tape, just so that you could fly. And so we provide that service. We do have the ability to show before you fly, so you can look at areas and see what kind of restrictions may be around, or airports, or even stadiums. We'll give you notifications before you fly to do that. You can file as a hobbyist in controlled airspace through our application, and then you can file for LANC authorization for commercial use. We also integrate with emergency services to allow SGIs, which is a special authorization to fly. There's a TFR in place. So we're evolving as the restrictions and rule sets change and the industry changes to try to stay up with the ability to facilitate that access to the airspace as quickly as possible. I think our key to developing this was to be able to do this and be able to get access to airspace in 3 clicks. And we struggle to get that process in, and I don't think we have it even today, but that's our goal, is to be able to save enough information in your profile to be able to manage that process of getting it done so that you can just fly. Because really, you don't want to be inside the app when you're out there to fly.
You know, we've had a partnership with UASidekick for a number of years, but even before that partnership, I had used UASidekick as a way to get LANC authorization for some of my commercial flights and things. And it's one of one of the things I loved about the app was how easy it was to use, how easy it was to go in and apply for that latest authorization, get that immediate response back. I know it sounds like I'm shilling for you. I'm really not. I'm giving, like, that's honest to God. It was so easy to do. That's one of the great things I love about the app. But we started this partnership with you a number of years ago. I think it's been 4 or 5 years at this point. What was it about the AMA that you guys wanted to partner with us and work together for all these years?
Well, I started back when I was 8 years old. My brother purchased a model airplane, and that's what started this whole desire. My brother's an aviation pilot for manned. So is my dad, my father-in-law. I'm a manned aviator as well. It's just in the blood. Kind of love this, and the hobby industry was a segment that wasn't really being addressed. And when we built the app, it was built for the individual. We evolve over time, and even our company is evolving to address groups and larger corporations and entities, because that's just, how the business model works. But we're still focused on the individual, and the hobbyists really were the instigators for getting this industry where it is, and sometimes that's overlooked. And so there's appreciation from our team for the hobbyists and what they have done and they continue to do. And so it's an honor for us to be a partner with AMA to provide these services to get your guys and us. I'm a member as well. Get us in the air as quickly as possible, cut that red tape, and then just enjoy. So that's the reason for the hobby, is the fellowship and the ability to use technology and share it with friends and family. So, we're honored.
Lee, I'll turn it over to you. I know you've got a few questions you wanted to throw out there.
I've got my finger on the button I was going to show. Well, first off, Jason and I go way back because we worked together on a lot of questions about developing it, how it would help the AMA. So I'm a longtime user. I have it on my phone, and I'm going to tell a short story about that in a second. But I'm going to pull up onto the stage just the PC, the desktop version of it. I love that the AMA logo is branded on top. Thank you, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
And what's really nice, what's convenient for me is I think because of the relations I have with our members, I'm always trying to help our members find a safe place to fly. And that ties into the Before You Fly app. But I always want members to know, do you know what controlled airspace looks like? Are you familiar with that? So we have some people who are new to aviation who may be in the hobby, they'll love the hobby, but they don't understand general aviation. So this little overlay really helps you understand what it is you need to fly around safely. And also, if you can see on the screen, you see a lot of little AMA logos. Well, my friends, those are all the AMA flying sites around Phoenix. So you can go in and zoom in, and you can see all these other little sites. And one in particular I'm going to zoom into here is the Arizona Model Aviators. They're going to have an event this weekend. And if I zoom in a little closer, you can see that they already have a notice to air missions available for their weekend event coming up, the 21st Annual Arizona Electric Festival. And so they've already been able to plot that out to let people know that, hey, there's going to be some UAS aircraft, UAVs out there. We're going to use the language properly. And it's what's nice is you click on the logo, it'll take you right to a little information page, and then you can click on their website, get more information. It's very, very helpful. But right next door to them, if you look over here, there's a big blue spot. Well, what is that blue spot? Well, that's controlled airspace. If you take your hand in there and you click on it, it'll actually tell you what it is. It gives you a lot of information. So again, congrats to UASidekick. That just gives you so much data there to educate you on where you shouldn't fly. And so, for example, if I use this app and said, hey, I'm going to do a photo, an aerial photo of a house that lives, that's right here, and I'm just going to grab a pin and click it here. It shows me where I am. I click on the drop it, and it tells me, hey, FYI, you are clear to fly, but hey, be aware that there's an AMA flying site nearby. You might see model airplanes in that area. So very helpful information on this app. And now my little story. Jason, are you familiar with AirVenture?
I am.
Okay. Being that your family's involved, well, we, the AMA, we are so lucky to go up there every year and hang out with, full-scale pilots, but also a bunch of hobbyists who come and fly at Pioneer Runway. And I had a really wonderful conversation with a gentleman who was from out of the country, visiting, but going to be moving to America. And he just asked me, it's like, hey, do you know of any flying sites near yada yada city? And I said, hey, do you have this app? And he asked me what it was. And so we had this great conversation, sat down, he downloaded UASidekick, and he was just zooming in going, oh, wow, there's a flying field there. Oh, my office is over here. I could go see about this field. So this is a great tool. And I encourage many of you, if you are ever traveling, if you have family that you go to see and you want to see if there are any AMA sites nearby, use this app to go visit some new fields, some new flying sites. And I feel like I made a good impression on this gentleman about the app, and he was eager to use it. And I know that anytime I'm around other members who are asking about TFRs, if they're asking about controlled airspace, I definitely tell them you've got to sign up. You can go to modelaircraft.org/UASidekick and register if you're an AMA member and start using it right away.
And there's some cool safety features in here. You'd mentioned one. If you click the center of one of those controlled airspaces, you'll see an airport icon. Inside of that, if you hit the number 1, see Phoenix, Sky Harbor, if you could scroll down to that, hit that. It'll give you a manager phone and owner phone number. So if you have a flyaway or if there is a issue nearby when you're flying, you can get direct. If you've got the mobile app, you just tap it and it'll actually start dialing them. There's also, if you see there's a GPS point, a coordinate point, and then it gives you a to and from. If you had to call them and they needed to know where you were, you just need to read the line below that. It's west, 200 and it's, I need glasses. I need better glasses. Read the line and they'll know where you're at, right? So those are just some of the features that we kind of, we're like, browse the map. We don't want to push anything into your face that you really don't want to see. That's why we made a lot of things clickable and we made it map based because everyone's used to looking at maps. And so that was, those are some of the criteria that we used when developing the app.
Well, I can't go into all the details because that's your expertise, but I will add some nice features over here are the layer options. And a lot of people like to have different kind of views. Now, this is the one I like currently that's showing. So if you zoom in, you start to get a satellite image overlay when you get closer and closer.
Right,
so you
that's
get more
my
detail.
favorite. Right.
Yeah, this is a great layout. It's just it's simple, and I like how it transitions. But if some of you would just prefer to have streets only, you can click on that. If you want a complete satellite view, you can get that. So again, for those of you who want to play with it, there are some really nice features that allow you to pinpoint.
That's right. And some of those, I find that the satellite is a little bit complicated to see whenever you're further away. That's why we made, that's my favorite is the outdoors map. But if you look at we just added a new one, which is contours. So if you open that up and hit the contours one on the far right.
I did.
All right, you zoom in. What it'll do is it'll actually give you the contour elevations along with the rooftop elevations.
Okay, so I have to come over here where there's contour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it also show you, so you can see the contours there, but move over to one of the buildings as well. So one of the things that I find very important is understanding what the heights are of surrounding, whether it's structures or treetops. But if you zoom in just a little bit more, you'll see those, the rooftop, the numbers.
Keep zooming. Keep zooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. 40 feet.
Mm-hmm. Those are your
very
height.
Helpful.
Any of the other layers, if you just click on the base of the building, you'll get the height of it as well in that pop-up window. But like those are just a lot of different. Every day we're trying to innovate or bring in new features. You should see our backlog of features that we want to put in.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm glad you shared that with me because I didn't know, and that's what again, playing with the tool really helps. So Thanks for adding about the contour. So I will have to start using that when I'm out and about.
Yep,
but it's really nice, guys. I just again, use the app, click on the AMA clubs, look at all the clubs that are in your area. You may have a club you're not familiar with. So again, a great tool, and as we mentioned at the beginning, it does offer Lance. So, and I have used it once or twice under my Part 107. I'm usually just having fun at my club. So I will put it to more use, hopefully in the future.
Yeah, and like I said, I've used it for commercial applications as well as recreational, and you guys have done so much innovating on through this app. It's been really a pleasure to use, and I know we've got a lot of members out there that have used it as well. Jason, just to clarify for folks again, for the maybe this is the first time that they're learning about UASidekick as AMA members. What benefits do they get to as far as being able to use the service?
Yeah, so with our partnership, you have access to the AMA, basically the basic service through UASidekick. We generally charge per month for that. And so what you can actually log in and register either through the AMA site. There's a link there. There's also one on our website. And then when you go to register through our application or web app or through the mobile app, it gives you the option wherever you select hobby or recreation, it'll give you AMA as one of the buttons there. And so you just hit that. You just need to know your AMA number, and you'll input your last name. We'll verify that you have an active subscription. And then you can go in there and file for application in controlled airspace and get authorization from the FAA through that process, so that it opens up that controlled airspace for you. And then we provide, of course, the AMA sites and then the AMA events also on the layer system, so that you can see those, especially when you're traveling. We found that very interesting, be able to see an AMA event that may be near where you're at. If you're, going cross country, allows you to kind of stay connected and meet new people.
Yeah, absolutely. I found, a lot of people have told me that's one of the things they love the most about it is when they are traveling, they can see what's going on. Hey, I'm going out west for a family vacation, but I wonder if there's any events going on.
Right.
Like they can either go on our event finder, but I
need to get away from the family. Let me find a flight that I can go to.
I'm not judging anybody here, but they said that using that app, that's actually the easiest way they've found events in their area or in the area that they're in. So. Just some of those really cool, innovative features I think are just fantastic. And as you mentioned, for AMA members that have not signed up for this, it's super easy. If you go to modelaircraft.org/UASidekick is probably the easiest way to get there. It's a really quick and easy sign-up process. As you mentioned, you just got to know your AMA number and fill out the form there, and you get access to that. That's
right.
It's such an easy way to get started, and again, give this service a shot. I think this is a huge benefit to all of our members out there.
And we do want to provide services as you grow into different aspects. If you want to get into the commercial side, we want to make that process easy for you, and we provide a few extra features in there for the professional side, and then there's an enterprise side as well that captures agencies and large corporations that want to have fleets of pilots and drones. So we have each one of those levels available, but we knew that this was the most important for the hobbyists, is to be able to gain access to that controlled airspace. So that base level does that, and it also provides a lot of information on those map layers. More so, I think, than a lot of the others that are out there. But we're glad to be able to provide that for the AMA members.
Awesome. Well, Jason, we want to thank you so much for joining us today on AMA Air. Again, it's Jason Cansler. He's the Chief Operating Officer of UASidekick, one of our awesome benefits that we are able to provide to all of our members out there. Jason, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about UASidekick.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Good to see you guys again.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Jason.
See you.
Well, thank you so much, Jason. He is the COO of UASidekick. We appreciate all that you guys have done to partner with us here at the AMA and for all the model aviators out there as well. Well, we want to tell you guys a little bit about our sponsor here today. Are you an RC enthusiast seeking top-tier aircraft? Well, look no further than XSRC and HSDJETSUSA, your premier destination for high-quality radio-controlled planes and jets. Based in Dallas, Texas, XSRC and HSD Jets USA offers a diverse selection of models, including turbine jets, electric ducted fans, and propeller planes, all shipped directly from their U.S. warehouse. Their lineup features impressive models like the 2,000mm Super Viper FRP turbine jet, known for its hybrid design and exceptional flight characteristics, and the HF-16 V2.1 foam turbine jet, celebrated for its agility and performance. XSRC and HSD Jets USA is committed to delivering outstanding customer service and after-sales support, ensuring you have a seamless experience from purchase to flight. Elevate your RC adventures with XSRC and HSD Jets USA's innovative and meticulously crafted aircraft. Visit hsdjetsusa.com today to explore their full range and take your passion to new heights. Well, Lee, let's talk about our club of the month. Every month, of course, we celebrate a different club around the country, and we've got a brand new one to talk about. Who are we going to be spotlighting this month?
Well, we're giving some love to a little club, but a club that has only been around since 2016, but they earned their bronze leader status. So let's give it up for the Foothill Flyers in Greer, South Carolina. And what's really cool about this site, and I know we have others that share the love with full-scale runways, but this is Sloan Airport in Greer, South Carolina, and it's mainly a runway for ultralights.
Wow.
And
okay.
one of the original board members happened to be driving around looking for a place to create a club, met with the owner of this Sloan Airport, I guess, or the landowners. And because they both have a passion for aviation, they signed up an agreement. They share the space together. It's a beautiful facility. And I don't know if you can see my arrow, but this is the hangar. This is the hangar set up for the ultralights. And the club is just on this end. So they have all this open field in front of them for flying. It is a 2,000-foot runway, and the club mows 800 feet of it. So
Wow.
It's got a lot of space.
Yeah.
But I talked with the president. He was very honored. I think he was proud that they made the effort. In fact, you can see here on their main page, as soon as they got their bronze leadership, they posted on their website to brag. And they should. You know, they took the steps to get accreditation. And they are a FRIA. So again, it's just nice to see clubs working with full-scale airports. And he says they have a wonderful time. They have a new metal shed that they have as their pit area, and they do have run-up stations. But, you know, they don't have water, they don't have electricity. There is a porta potty. That's always good. And one thing he told me about is every September they have a fun fly, and they send flyers out to various stores in the community, hobby shops. But one of their members is like a karate instructor, so he posted it there. And they had a ton of people show up, over 50 people just to watch their fun fly, which I think is excellent for any just casual fun fly for such a small club. And one thing they did this year was they bought a whole bunch of Gillo balsa gliders, and they just had the kids go on the runway and had a little contest on who could, you know, fly them the farthest. And there are some really good photos if you go onto their website, which is foothillflyers.net, and you can see some of those pictures that they've shared. And they also, in fact, they love celebrating Christmas. I noticed that almost every gallery has their Christmas party. But, I mean, this is just a nice gathering of pilots who are just there to have fun. And I'm going to say thank you to those who own Sloan Airport for sharing your land with some of us who just, you know, either can't afford or just can't fly full scale anymore.
Very cool. Well, congratulations to the Foothill Flyers out in Greer, South Carolina, for being this month's AMA Club of the Month. And one of the other things we also like to do here every month is celebrate a new cover photo in our Facebook group, the IFlyAMA Facebook group. If you're not yet a member of the IFlyAMA Facebook group, you know what to do. You go to facebook.com/groups/IFlyAMA, and there you can answer a couple of questions. Make sure you're not a robot. Lee takes care of all that for us. Lee, have you found any robots lately?
We have had a few robots.
Oh, no.
Just spammer, people that have really odd names. no profile photo, just trying to sneak in.
Lots of numbers.
We get yeah, exactly. It actually says AI bot.
Yes, exactly, because they just make it obvious now. But you get to go in there, you get to hang out with a whole bunch of us there at the IFlyAMA Facebook group. Tons of stories, tons of tips, tricks, and photos for you guys to look at. And one of the cool things that we do every month is we have a photo submission contest to see what photo is going to take over the cover photo for the full month. And we've got a brand new winner to talk about. Lee, who's our winner for the month of February?
Our winner, and it's a very interesting photo. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you? Did you?
No, I have not seen it yet.
Okay, so I think it's very unique. Normally, we have people sharing a photo of an airplane, but Chris Rybert, he shared a photo of his club, the Rochester Aero Modeling Society, on their frozen finger fly-in, and it actually won the most likes because it looks like a happy bunch of frozen folks. But
nice.
There's more than one plane in there, and I just thought it was nice because that's what we've been doing on our AMA Facebook page. We've been sharing photos from the New Year's events, and we've just randomly changing out the background. And it was just nice that someone thought about doing that for the iFlyAMA Facebook group. So congratulations, Chris, for sharing that. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And congratulations to the club for getting on the iFlyAMA cover photo for the rest of the month.
I think, you know what? Is that a first where we've had a club group shot as our cover photo?
For me, it is the first club group shot.
I think it is. I think that's a first overall. So that's pretty cool. I love that, and it's really showing off kind of the fun that those guys are having. So in temperatures that I wouldn't probably want to be out in.
Well, and I want to point out for those of you who've been with the AMA for a long time, Joyce Hager left a comment. She goes, "It looks a little cold."
Joyce was always one of few words to get her point across, so she certainly did there.
Yeah, she still follows us, and so she does chime in every now and then on some of her posts.
Absolutely. Well, again, guys, if you want to take part in the iFlyAMA cover photo contest, all you got to do is go to facebook.com/groups/iFlyAMA, join the group, and there's a pinned post at the top where every month you'll get to submit a photo to be considered to be our cover photo of the month. So we look forward to seeing all of your photos, and I know that's certainly one of the things I love to do. Lee and I both, as photographers, we love seeing some of these awesome photos you guys submit, and they're always great. So we look forward to what we're going to see throughout this month for the March cover photo contest. We have started something new on the last episode of AMA Air that we're going to continue on. Hopefully, you guys are continuing to enjoy it. We got some good feedback from that, and that's to highlight something from our Model Aviation magazine. And I have found something that I think you guys will be super interested in. If you haven't seen it yet, you can certainly see it in the upcoming issue of Model Aviation that you should have by now, I believe. And that is getting started in control line. And it's called Control Line Fun Scale, Simple Steps to Get You Started. And
or rather, a different avenue of getting into control line. I just want to point that out.
That's right. Because this article is all about taking and converting an RC ARF aircraft and turning it into a control line scale aircraft. And this is a great article by Pete Bauer, who, if you're not familiar with Pete, he's the CD for control line scale at the Nats. He's been around for many, many years. He's an awesome wealth of knowledge, and you couldn't be learning from a better individual. But this article is fantastic and shows you kind of step by step how you can modify this amazing Bearcat ARF, turning it into a control line plane. And it's super cool, super interesting. I hope to see some folks doing this and letting us know how their experience goes.
Already doing it. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Was that?
I'm sorry,
did I
Lee.
say that out loud?
I'm sorry, Lee. What was that? What was that?
I'm already doing it. Before the show, I expressed my frustration that I came up with this idea of converting a Park Zone T-28, one of the original red and white ones that I got at a swap meet for, $10. It was totally beat up. And I have been planning its conversion just like this to be both a remote control aircraft and a control line aircraft. So I already converted a pistol grip to be a full trigger, and I've got it working with the T-28. I've flown the T-28 RC, so I actually have it flying now, and I'll be 3D printing. I'm not sure you can see, but behind me I have a 3D printer. I'm going to be 3D printing the parts to have it so you can, quick connect and disconnect the control line cables, but still continue flying. So this is a great article. I hope some of you run with this, do it the same way. He's using plywood, I think, in some of the places. I'm planning to design my own 3D printed, which I think is a great, test for some of you guys to play with, especially if you have a 3D printer, and do more of this. I think you will just I think you will open the eyes of some kids who haven't seen this type of setup before. Yeah. And I can't wait to get mine out there. Now, I promised Matt that as soon as mine is done, because now I'm on a mission, I will bring it back for an episode of AMA Air for you guys to see.
We look forward to seeing that. And of course, if you guys want to read this article, you can check out this month's issue of Model Aviation magazine, or you can go over to modelaviation.com. We've got a link down in the description for you as well. This is one of the feature articles there on the website, so you can read it today. If you have not yet gotten your magazine, you can go ahead and check it out and get ahead of the game. So we, again, look forward to seeing what cool aircraft you guys decide to convert into a control line aircraft,
and then share that on Facebook groups.
Heck yeah. AMA. There you go. It's all synergy. It's all synergy. I love it. Way to go. Want to let you guys know the 2025 NATS, the National Air Modeling Championships registration is now open. If you go to modelaircraft.org/NATS, you can go there and register for all the events that you plan to compete in this year at the NATS. We hope to see you here. We are very quickly inching toward the 100th NATS coming up next year. Lee, can you believe it? Next year, we're celebrating the 100th running of the National Air Modeling Championships.
I think everybody has to wear clothes from that era. That's going to be the rule.
I concur. I think that would be fantastic. We're looking forward to it. We got a lot of fun stuff in store next year, but first we've got to go through the 2025 NATS, and again, registration is now open. You can go to modelaircraft.org/NATS to register today. And speaking of reserving spots, you can also reserve your camping spots. If you're going to be coming to the IAC this year, the camping portal will be open for reservations on March the 1st. If you go to modelaircraft.org/camping, you can reserve your spots. Again, those spots will open up March the 1st for the entire year. And those spots go fast for some of the big events, so make sure that you get there soon, get there early, and get those spots reserved. We also wanted to spotlight one of our amazing partners. As a member of the AMA, not only do you get, great insurance, you get our magazine, you get all these amazing benefits for being a part of the AMA, but there's a lot of exclusive member benefits that don't get a lot of publicity, and one of those is our member benefit with Enterprise National Car Rental. By being an AMA member and using the special account code and password, you can save up to 5% on car rentals at Enterprise and receive special rates with National. All you got to do is log into your account on modelaircraft.org and go to our member benefits page. We've got a link down in the description, and you can get more information on how to get that 5% discount at Enterprise and National Car Rental.
And I use it.
Yes, I do too.
I use it a lot.
There's so many great benefits on that webpage that, I think a lot of people probably don't even realize are there. So we're going to try to highlight those for you guys here on the show because there's some great discounts to be had there, and that's just one of them. So, and Lee, you're going to be taking a trip here soon, right?
I am heading to the Perry Swap Meet with hopefully my buddy Fitz Walker. We've been there before, had a great time. Got to bring the trailer. Got to hope to pack it with some goodies going there and bringing it back. So look for us. The AMA will be out there. We'll have a booth. So, look for us, plus me and Fitz. We will certainly be walking around and hopefully doing a live show for you guys. So, stay tuned for our social media channels. Most likely we'll air it on YouTube.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing your coverage from that. I know the last time you went, you guys had a great time and shared some really cool video from that. So
it is there, and I encourage you guys to watch that because Tony Stillman was walking around with Fitz. So I was just, videotaping them and letting them have a blast and interviewing folks. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it's changed to. It's always improving. It's always getting better, and I can't wait to see what deals can be made.
The question I have is, how are you able to get Fitz and Tony separated? Because the two of them, I imagine, could probably talk about the hobby for hours and hours and hours without stopping.
And then when they meet somebody to talk to, then you got three people.
Yeah, because they both know everyone.
They do, or people just walk up to them, immediately. Like, hey, you're Fitz Walker.
Exactly.
But we'll have a blast. Looking forward to seeing many of you out there.
Very cool. Well, one of the other shows that's coming up that we encourage you guys, if you're in the area, to check out is the Toledo RC show. That's coming up here in April. And so if you guys are going to be in the area, we encourage you to go check that out. Toledo has always been a great time. It's gone through some changes over the years, but it's still an amazing show to go attend and check out. We'll have some more information on what you can find at that show coming up on the next episode of AMA Air. And with that, Lee, we've come to the end of our show. And we want to thank you all so much for joining us here on AMA Air. If you guys are not yet members of the AMA, we encourage you to go to modelaircraft.org/join and become a member today. We'd love to have you as part of our wonderful AMA family. If you guys have enjoyed this episode, we'd love it for you if you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all of the things that YouTube tells you to do. It helps us out tremendously, and we'd love it if you do that. It's really easy for you guys to do, so we appreciate that. And we also want to give a special thanks to today's sponsor, XSRC HSD Jets. We appreciate all that you do for us and help us put together this show. Lee, thank you so much for being here, brother. It was good seeing you.
Same. We'll catch up with you soon.
Absolutely. And for all of you guys watching the show today, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of AMA Air.